In 1991, Somalia's decades-long dictatorship collapsed in chaos. For 22 years, President Siad Barre ruled with an iron fist, but by the late 1980s, his regime was crumbling under the weight of clan favoritism and brutal repression. Rebel groups, united only by their hatred of Barre, closed in on Mogadishu, turning the city into a war zone. Barre fled, leaving a power vacuum and a shattered state. Every institution, army, police, ministries, disintegrated overnight. Armed youths replaced the police and the national army fractured along clan lines. Somalia became a ghost state, a name on a map, but nothing more. The rebel alliance quickly dissolved and former allies turned on each other in a ruthless struggle for control. The dream of a new Somalia died before it began, replaced by civil war and anarchy. The fall of the dictator was not the end, but the beginning of a far more brutal chapter. The country plunged into chaos, with no government to hold it together. With no central authority, power fell to warlords, men with guns loyal to clan, not country. Ali Mahdi Mohammed and General Mohammed Farah Aidid, both Hawaii, became bitter rivals, splitting Mogadishu in two. The Green Line divided the city, turning neighborhoods into deadly frontiers. Warlords controlled ports, roads, and aid, ruling through militias of armed youths in technicals, pickup trucks with mounted guns. Law and order vanished, replaced by shifting allegiances and violence. Smaller commanders carved out their own fiefdoms, making the conflict even more complex. For ordinary Somalis, survival meant navigating a patchwork of checkpoints and loyalties. The dream of unity faded, lost in the smoke and fury of a city at war with itself. Mogadishu became a symbol of Somalia's collapse. The warlords' battles devastated Somalia far beyond Mogadishu. Farmers fled, herders lost their roots, and the country's fragile infrastructure collapsed. By 1992, famine swept the south, especially Bay and Bakul, as drought and war destroyed the harvest. Starvation claimed over 300,000 lives. Entire villages vanished. Displacement camps were squalid and dangerous, preyed upon by armed gangs. Warlords looted food aid, using hunger as a weapon to feed their fighters or profit on the black market. Aid agencies had to negotiate with the very men causing the crisis, often losing supplies to theft. The world watched in horror as Somalia became a symbol of famine and despair. The suffering was immense, a silent catastrophe unfolding in plain sight. The nation's proud history was buried beneath violence and hunger. Images of famine finally spurred the world to act. The UN's first peacekeepers were powerless, so in December 1992, the US led Operation Restore Hope to secure aid delivery. US Marines landed in Mogadishu, and for a moment the mission worked. Food flowed and violence paused. But the mandate soon expanded to nation-building and disarming warlords. The UN's new mission, UNOSOM II, put peacekeepers in direct conflict with General Aidid, who saw them as a threat. Aidid resisted, using propaganda to turn Somalis against the UN. The mission of mercy became a low-level war, as Mogadishu's streets once again erupted in violence. The stage was set for a deadly confrontation. In June 1993, the conflict exploded when 24 Pakistani peacekeepers were killed. The US sent elite forces to capture Aidid, leading to the infamous Black Hawk Down incident in October. A raid to capture Aidid's lieutenants went wrong. 2 helicopters were shot down, and US soldiers were trapped. The Battle of Mogadishu raged for 15 hours. 18 Americans died, hundreds of Somalis were killed. Images of a dead US soldier dragged through the streets shocked the world. US public support collapsed, and President Clinton ordered a withdrawal. The Somalia syndrome set in, making Western intervention in future crises far less likely. The era of ambitious international intervention ended in blood and disillusionment. While the South burned, the North took a different path. In 1991, leaders in the Northwest declared the Independent Republic of Somaliland, withdrawing from the union with Somalia. Somaliland built peace from the ground up, disarming militias, creating institutions, and holding elections, despite no international recognition. To the east, Puntland declared autonomy in 1998, choosing self-governance until a federal Somalia could be rebuilt. Somaliland sought sovereignty, Puntland, a federal future. These regions showed that even amid collapse, some Somali communities found ways to survive and hope. Their stability stood in stark contrast to the chaos of the South. The fragmentation of Somalia was now complete. By the late 1990s, Somalia was exhausted by war and warlord rule. International peace talks had failed, but in 2000, a new effort began in Arta, Djibouti. This time, civil society, elders, religious leaders, business people, and the diaspora took center stage, sidelining the warlords. Months of debate produced a fragile charter for a transitional government. A 245-member Transitional National Assembly was formed, electing Abdikasim Salad Hassan as president. For the first time since 1991, Somalia had a recognized central authority, however weak. The new government controlled little territory and faced resistance from powerful warlords. Yet, its creation marked a turning point, a fragile glimmer of hope. The long road to recovery had begun, however uncertain. Somalia's future was still unwritten, but hope had returned to the table.